about the mechanism of breathing. As you know, the breathing is a mechanism by which the air enters into the lungs from the atmosphere through the air passage. And breathing in the human being involves the two mechanical processes, that is an inspiration and expiration, that is also known as an inhalation and the exhalation. Inhalation means the flow of air into the lung, and the exhalation means the air leaving the lung. Let's start with the inspiration or the inhalation first. What is happening in this stage? This it is an active stage, energy requiring process which involves the contraction of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles and the expansion of the thoracic cavity. The contraction of an external intercostal muscles result in the movement of the rib cage in the forward and the outward direction, as it is clear in the diagram. The diaphragm contracts and straightens, and this causes the increase in the volume of the thoracic cavity. As the volume of a thoracic cavity increase, it will increase the lungs volume also, and it will decrease the air pressure inside. Due to this decrease in the air pressure, the air rushes in the lungs through the nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and the bronchiole. Thus, in this process of breathing, the air sac or the alveoli of the lungs get filled with the air containing oxygen. You can draw that flow chart also along with the diagram to explain the inspiration, how the air entered inside the lungs and the process that is known as an inspiration. If we talk about the exhalation process, it is a process which involves the expulsion of the foul air from the lungs, brought about by the relaxation of an intercostal muscles. That intercostal muscles, uh, the rib and the diaphragm return to their normal position due to the relaxation of this muscle, and this causes the reduction in the volume of the thoracic cavity and returns of a lungs to the normal size. So the air pressure inside the lung increases, and the air rushes out of the lung through the trachea, nostril, and then out of the body. So one breath means one inhalation and one exhalation. The average breathing rate in an adult human at rest is about the 15 to 18 time per minute, and it increases with the physical activities like the running. And during the breathing cycle, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air, so that there is a sufficient time for the oxygen to be absorbed and to carbon dioxide to be released. In that manner, the external respiration completed, the oxygen movement into the blood. The alveoli always have the more oxygen than the blood. Oxygen moves in the diffusion towards the areas of the lower concentration. Pulmonary capillary blood again gain, and as well as the carbon dioxide movement out of the blood is also a part of the external respiration. If now we will discuss about the gas transport in the blood. In the respiration, it is clear ki how the gases enter and how the gases move out of the lungs or the area. Now the big question, how the different type of gases like the oxygen transported in the blood. Oxygen does not dissolve easily in the water, and only 1.5% of the oxygen is dissolved in the blood plasma. 98.5% of the oxygen is transported by the blood with the help of a respiratory pigment called as an hemoglobin present in the erythrocyte. So what is the role of an hemoglobin? The main role of an hemoglobin is to bind with an oxygen to form the unstable compound, that is an oxyhemoglobin. 5% heme and the 95% globulin protein combinedly known as hemoglobin. So oxyhemoglobin, whose formula is HbO2 whole 4, the small amount is carried dissolved in the plasma of an oxygen, and a normal person has about 15 gram of an hemoglobin per 100 ml of an blood, and 1 gram of an hemoglobin binds about 1.34 ml of an oxygen. So around 100 ml of an pure blood of your body carries about the 20 ml of an oxygen. So oxygen is transported from lungs to the tissue combined with the hemoglobin rather than the dissolved in the blood plasma, and the oxygen content of an blood leaving the lungs is greater than the blood returning the lungs. As far as the transportation of an carbon dioxide is concerned, students, the transport of an carbon dioxide by blood is much easier than that of an oxygen due to the high solubility of an carbon dioxide in the water. 7% of the carbon dioxide is dissolved in the plasma, around 23% bound to the hemoglobin, and it will form the another unstable compound like the oxygen, that is known as an carboxyhemoglobin, and 70% is in the form of an bicarbonate dissolved in the plasma. It means the movement or the transport of an carbon dioxide is not done by the hemoglobin alone, it is also done with the help of an bicarbonate present in that. To maintain the electrostatic neutrality of the plasma, many of the chlorine diffuses from plasma into the RBC and the bicarbonate passes out. And chlorine shift is also a method through which the transportation of an carbon dioxide taking place in the human being. Student, this is the end of the topic respiration and the respiratory system in the human being. Please go through that topic, prepare the notes and assignment you will get as soon as possible. Thank you.